been added over the last 30 minutes.
Well, can you take off the other two that are there? I don't know.
Well, now you're down to one of them.
You're down to one, so I
Alright,
think it'll go soon.
All right, I'm not touching anything.
Okay. An act is just like, the three phases of a story: the beginning, middle, and end.
Oh, you're answering my question?
Yeah,
Oh, I was making a joke.
I know it was a joke, but I had to answer it.
Oh,
Okay, and we are going live in 5, 4, 3. Find it in a minute. Okay. And we are going live now. Welcome guests, welcome everyone to the Prompt and Plot It podcast. My name is Montgomery Harris and I am the Steampunk Wordsmith. With me as always are my co-hosts, Trevor Billings.
Hello there.
And Mike Conley.
Hello.
And today we are honoured to have such great author guests as Shay, Jessica,
Hello, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you.
and from the right stuff and author and pet is Thomas. I didn't say any second names because I didn't want to mess them up, but you can see their books in the bottom corner of the screen right now, as well as all of the books by our previous guests also. And today we are going to be talking about one of the subgenres of steampunk, one of my favourites, and that is Flintlock punk. This is sometimes referred to as clockwork punk or powder fantasy. And we have the plot for them, but I am going to give each of our guests a quick minute to tell us something about themselves. And we'll start with Shay and work in that order.
Hi, my name is Shay. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I write supernatural thrillers, and I have recently started a fantasy series, and I'm currently working on book 3 in that series.
And what is the name of that series?
It is the Silver Talons Guild series.
Silver Talent Skill series. Lovely. And Shay's a close personal friend of mine, so I'm honoured to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
And someone I've met at many steampunk conventions previously, and we were recently hanging out together, I believe, at the Telltale Steampunk Con in, where was it? Baltimore, Maryland, which was
Yes.
hosted by our friend, the Duchess Donna McLean. So welcome, Jessica.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be here, and I'm in good company. And steampunk is the best genre I've ever read, and I really try hard to write well in it. I'm mostly well known for my steampunk trilogy, the Watch City trilogy, and I am also a poet, and I'm trying now a new project of combining steampunk and poetry.
Nice. I look forward to seeing that. You are going to Key City, right?
I am going. I'm going to be there Saturday, rain or shine.
Okay, I will see you there.
Okay.
And Thomas Belazar. I practiced.
Oh, hey!
Hey.
How's it going?
Hi, he's the host of the fantastic podcast, The Right Mindset, and I was honoured to be a guest on that show like 4 months ago now.
Yeah, give or take, yeah. It's repetitive, though. Like, they could watch the episode for the first time whenever they want, so...
Yes,
Yeah.
just like this show.
Just like this show.
So,
That's what-
like, ring the bell and smash that button. Tell us something about yourself, Thomas, please.
I have a pull-off beard. It looks real, but it's actually been fake most of my life. I don't actually have long hair. It's just my back hair. I just pull it up over my head to give myself some personality. No, I'm Thomas J. Bellezza. I'm an author, writer, consultant. I help with developmental editing and stuff like that. I got books. I got scripts. I got it all. But mostly I'm known for The Right Mindset YouTube channel and podcast show.
It's the stories, Tommy. It's the stories.
It's the stories.
Okay, and
We have another personality like mine, and I'm liking it.
and I'm going to take a Xanax. Okay, and we have a fantastic prompt for you today, and that is going to be read out to you by Mike Conley. Mr. Mike, take it away.
All right. So imagine this. The year is 1649, and the English Civil War is all but lost for the new King Charles II. It's a desperate time for England and the Crown, but there's hope. News has reached the loyalist spies of a new weapon under construction in the county of Sussex. The super weapon will be the Roundhead's answer to the royalist fleet of name of the ship type. The flying ships capable of coasting on the winds with their giant sails. Name of the captain of the ship type has been called to Warwick Castle.
Warwick. Sorry.
He will be charged with being the man who will lead his gallant crew in their large and athletic muscles and heroic posturing to seize and make good their escape with the demon weapon of our most vulgar and work-faced foe. I like that, work-faced. However, the fortress of, whatever name we give it, under the command of some other name, is a mighty one. Its defenders of name are seasoned warriors and devout parliamentarians. The designer of the weapon, whatever, is either laboring under threat of proprietary in person, or must ye fire be liberated of his travail, or under misguided propaganda reversed his former position on loyalty to God, King, and country, and eliminated with the most extreme of prejudice by divorce of traitorous head from ye Waisling shoulders, and may God have mercy on his soul, for England will show it nevermore. However, to ensure success, our protagonist is informed that the female captain of ship name will be charged with the same mission, for where brawn and bullets may fail, beauty and brains may flourish. Oh, when she does not like to be seen as just beauty and brains, she is much more complex. Also, they have a history because of something we imagine. The story should have an emphasis on clockwork devices, weapons of black powder style with some extreme, maybe even fantastical power. Should have swashbuckling banter and a little historical accuracy for divergence, and you'll have to get someone else than me to tell you what's accurate. Hope that all made sense. That was sent to all the authors in email. If you need to refer to it, please check that out or ask me at any time, and I'll bring any part of it back up for you.
What's a clockwork? No, just Could we do a device? Could we go into that?
It works at least twice a day. I can tell you that much.
That's right.
Oh, that's a bit of a wind-up, Thomas.
Hey, the hands have moved the chess pieces.
Hey. Yes, and the word is quisling, which is Old English for traitor. And Warwick Castle, the seat of a certain family that has the same name as mine.
Is this your way of letting it out of the box? You know, be like, hey, I may or may not be related to a traitor?
I mean, that's what I heard.
No, Warwick Castle. Warwick Castle was the seat of King Charles II before the Battle of Worcester.
So is this taking place on Earth? And do we have to have some sort of historical understanding to tell the story, or can we just?
You can play it by ear. There can be some historical inaccuracies. It is set during the English Civil War, which was, 1842 to 1851.
All right.
Kings nil, parliamentarians too.
There's flying boats, so we have some free reign at that point.
Yeah, well, that's the essence of Flintlock. It's like Steampunk uses airships. Flintlock Punk uses giant sails as wings and maybe a couple of cannons with some superpower in the powder, which will allow them to rocket into the air and pick up the vector current. Because gunpowder is the primary means of technology. Flints, clocks, and stuff like that. And I will give you a little bit more about Flintlock before we continue with the story. Flintlock Punk is the period before Steampunk. Now, there are 3 periods before Steampunk, technically, if you look at the subgenres. Sailpunk, Flintlock Punk, and Rococo Punk. I cannot afford a Rococo Punk costume. I am not a millionaire, so we will not be covering that tonight. And then Sailpunk is more about the golden age of sail. But then there is the exciting one, which involves gunpowder, treason, and plot, and that is Clockwork Punk, and it covers things like piracy, English Civil War, early expansion, fighting the Spaniards and the French, which is what England did for a hobby in the late Plantagenet period. Just a quick thing about the English Civil War. It took place, and the royals lost. King Charles II lost his head, so it didn't go well for him. And King Charles II hid up a tree in Boscobel Hall. And most of this took place in the region where I was brought up, in the West Midlands. The turning point was the Battle of Naseby, which happened in 1849. Which is the period in which this book's set. If you need any historical advice, just ask me and I can put it into context for you. Do we have any questions on Flintlock Punk before we start? Any in the chat? Any in the group? Yes.
I will probably be all historically inaccurate unless you stop me and correct me, because
I'll only stop and correct you if you go out of period.
So no nuclear fission in the 1600s. Got it.
No. Did you have a question, Shay? You held up your hand. No? Okay.
Just for full disclosure, Trevor and I both live in the future for most of our writings, so when we bring in Flintlock mech warriors, don't be too afraid.
Or somehow, turtle goggles that have a HUD overlay,
I will tell you this, some of the best Flintlock books I ever read, like The Guns Above or Trevor Butcher's Absolutely Fantastic, The Aeronaut's Windlass, and some others I've read have things like flying clockwork dragons, and, so you can be as fantastical as you want. You've just got to show us how it works. Okay, it is a subgenre, and it is a subgenre that it is still in creation. So there's no way you can get this wrong, so long as you stay in the period before 1776 and after 1603.
Yep.
Okay.
You say there's no way for us to get it wrong, Monty, but
yes. And here is my plane ticket to Atlanta. Right. Now, we are going to be using something called the Montgomery Harris method for storytelling, which was designed to tell a Kindle Vella story in 33 episodes across 3 acts in 9 separate levels. The purpose of the levels is to show you how the story moves forward and how much time you should spend on them. I have sent each of the authors here present, plus my 2 co-hosts, the format that we will be using, and I also have it here to bring up to show you the audience. And we will be starting with level 1 and working our way through. We will go in a round robin. Trevor, did you bring the dice?
no.
I had to bring dice.
Fucking thing to do. One fucking thing, Trevor.
You didn't say anything about
Okay.
dice this week.
Does anyone here have a full motorcycle
What kind of
license?
dice do you need? I
Just
have
these.
a set of 7 right here.
Yeah.
None
Just
of
roll a
mine are
d6,
handy.
please.
Absolutely.
And starting with me as number 1, Trevor number 2, Whoever gets that goes first.
5.
5. So we are going to start with Jessica.
Oh, hey,
on
Jessica.
level 1. And level 1 is the opening scene. So set us an opening scene, please. And I've read your books. You're good at them. You're muted.
Thank you so much. So, am I supposed to... I didn't actually write a first act. Was I supposed to do that?
No, you just... The whole idea is improvisation. This is just a brainstorming session. So, think of an opening scene that matches the English Civil War, where there will be a big flying ship, I guess.
Well, I think a picnic. They're outside, so of course they're going to see this big shadow come over their picnic table and picnic blanket, and they look up, and it's this big airship. But who is they? We have to figure that out.
Okay.
We figured that out. We already know that part. So now...
Do you want to give us a description of the ship?
Yeah, it looks like a Spanish galleon.
Okay.
And it doesn't look like it's aged. It doesn't look like it's old. It is, it has a figurehead of a mermaid, and it's shining. It doesn't have algae on it. It's just beautiful, fresh, bright in the sunshine. It almost looks like it's made out of gold. It's so shiny. And the sails are made of a special fabric that was invented in America. And so even though Americans aren't their favorites, they still trade with them as long as they've decided to ally themselves against the monarchy. And I'll
just point out that royalists are on the side of the monarchy.
Oh yes. So they want to support the crown.
Yes.
And so I think I'm on my writer's block at this moment. Can I popcorn it over to somebody else?
We can throw it open to the group, just for more details on the ship.
Sure.
Okay, because that's what we do. We brainstorm here on the Prompt and Plotty podcast, because we are not just prompting, we are plotting.
Also, just to clarify, which ship is flying overhead? The one that is being built as the new weapon of the Royalist fleet? Or is it the ship for the female captain? Which ship did you envision?
I think it's the weapon. They're taking it on some sort of test drive.
Oh, okay. Good opening scene.
So the ordinary world. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, what's the name of the ship?
Oh, Crumb.
Or the name of
Crumb?
No, not O Crumb. Cromulus.
Topical. Cromwell being the leader.
There you go.
Are we not establishing the ordinary world of the characters and where they are in their status quo before an inciting incident takes place, or are we just working on the ship? And if so, is the ship the inciting incident? If not, what makes this ship the ordinary world, the status quo of the story, that will eventually lead to the influence of the inciting incident?
I could offer something that's in world here that would be in the time period if you want.
Well, I'm just asking for ordinary world before the inciting incident, and if they're building the ship, what makes that the ordinary world? What is the status quo of that world for the ship being built? Because clearly it's not being built to accommodate a response to an inciting incident. This just happens to be the ship that's being built for the Cromulus for let me see, for the battle of I guess some Sussex.
It's
Yeah.
the new
Success.
It's the new Royal Fleet superweapon. I think is probably the premise
parliamentarians. The parliamentarians
The pal-
are
Perfect.
the royalists are the ones who support King Charles. The parliamentarians or the Roundheads are the ones who are against.
So the status quo is just that they have been preparing this whole time.
Yeah.
This is basically them building the weapon. So all right. So I just want
It's so like at this point in the Civil War, it's pretty much lost. The parliamentarians have pretty much won, but in this world, they have the super fleet of the royalist flying ships, and that is, and they are on sails. They're not using bags of air; they're actually using sails to float, and that this would be like a big answer to the Royalist fleet, because the Royalist fleet are the only thing that's stopping them after the Battle of Naseby, which was like the ground war that was lost.
Yeah, so clarification, if this is the super weapon, it's the Roundheads which are against the parliamentarians.
Now, the parliamentarians and the Roundheads are one of the same.
Okay.
The
they
Royalists...
just have different hats.
Yes, the Cavalier hat. So the Royalists or the Cavaliers versus the Roundheads or parliamentarians.
So, okay, so this is more Treasure Planet sail style ship than Zeppelin style. Okay.
Yeah, Treasure Planet is Flintlock Punk.
Yeah.
Minus Michael J. Fox.
Minus Michael J. Fox.
Yeah. He's the main character. All right, so the ordinary world here is that we're establishing that they're building this ship. They've already won the battle. You're saying it's at the world's end of that. Is that fair to say? Can I write that down? Or?
They've won the ground battle, and the royalist army is licking its wounds in Warwickshire right now.
Army is licking their wounds. All right.
Don't worry, I'm chronicling this with stick figures.
Oh, in that case, why am I typing? I'm messing with the fingers of gold. Just typing.
King Charles II was beheaded in 1649. So this is like 2 years. This is the year of his beheading, and King Charles II is leading the army now. He kind of had the Civil War thrust upon him.
Did anyone time how long his brain was functional after the beheading, like they did with the French scientist? Or they were like, "Oh, blink as many times as you can," and they timed it. I don't know if you know that story, but
yeah,
I think
yeah, and they had the dog that they fed the food to as well. But I know his last words were, "I forgive England, have mercy on all of you."
Yeah, but after his head was cut off, wasn't it? Because he couldn't really push wind out.
It was like, that was a sharp fall. My head.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
No. I'm raising taxes.
Wrong king.
Is Stuart alive during this time? Or that was in the 40s, right?
Charles II was the was the middle Stuart.
The one that mocked me. You know that guy from Outlander. He'd be alive during this time.
No, better 100 years.
No, he's dead.
Early.
Okay.
That was 1745. This is 1649. So yeah, 100 years too early.
Oh, okay. All right. Listen, I don't have my watch with me.
Yeah.
My watch doesn't work. So
There's your clockwork problem, yeah.
Exactly.
oh, add that in. Unable to decipher dates.
Yeah. What time is it? I don't know. The watch ain't been invented yet.
Dates? I don't eat fruits. So, all right. So, I guess we're still on establishing the world, right? Establishing where
Yeah.
they are and their motivations.
I would
We're
say.
still on the kind of opening scene, getting, establishing the first set of characters we're seeing, which it sounds like it's the royalists flying
Parliamentarians.
the Crumulus on his maiden flight.
Parliamentarians.
Parliamentarians.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm going to get that wrong every time.
It's all right.
Let's
Can
call
I
them the Ps.
throw a suggestion at the group here,
Sure.
just to get us started?
Yeah. Sai, can you roll a die to see if he has the okay to go?
Yeah. Yeah, Shay, let's see if I can have an
Yeah,
intuition.
Shay. I'm sorry, Shay. Could you roll a die to see if he has anything lower than a 15? He
4.
doesn't get. Oh, all right.
Oh,
Trevor,
wait.
your turn.
So I would say these people are sitting there having a picnic, right? And they are in Worcestershire.
The Parliament people.
No, the people having the picnic are royalists, and they're sitting there,
Oh.
and they've got waiters in white wigs pouring them tea and everything, all right? And actually, we're going to go a bit further south than that. We're going to go to Surrey, all right? So we're in Surrey, and this big thing comes flying over it, and all the royalists are sitting there having their tea near Leeds Castle, say, right? And all of a sudden, this giant ship with the golden thing on it and brand new and looking, and it's got sails on the side which are spreading like the wings of a swan, banks to the side, and out of the side of it comes triple-barreled cannons, like rotating cannons. Okay, and they say, "Musketeers to the flank," and all these muskets come flying across, and it just bombs the crap out the picnic, like sausage rolls and cucumber sandwiches everywhere, right?
The
And just,
royalists are the people that are losing.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're losing at this point, and this ship just completely obliterates the picnic and the castle around it, and then banks and turns back to the south.
Does that lead the royalists to take action?
Well, that's where we had the prompt. King Charles II has got news of this weapon, and he calls the captain we need to name.
Yeah.
Okay, so that could be the next phase. The intro I gave you could be the next phase.
Well, I'm
Which
saying
is-
if the ship bombs people and it causes change in the status quo, then the ship bombing them is actually technically the inciting incident, and then the direct response to the inciting incident would be what you were just saying, where they go off and they tell somebody.
Yeah, like there's one cavalier running, going, "They bombed me! They bombed me!" You know.
Yeah, that would be as an example, that would be the response or the immediate response to the
Let's not call that the inciting incident. This is just the opening image. So this is like a prologue that we're talking here, where the ship blows.
Oh, so this isn't Act 1. This is a prologue.
Yeah, this is level 1. Don't think of it as acts. Think of it as a level. All
And
right.
your hook.
So he's
Level
using
1. Oh, I see what you're doing.
This is your.
But
hook.
he's
says
using his
first
structure instead of like the normal 3-act
Yeah.
structure.
No,
Think
I'm
it's
using the
inside
3-act
the
structure. That's the first act. Is the ordinary anyway.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I totally get
Hey,
you.
what do I know?
So we're breaking the first act into 3 levels.
Oh, I see the paper. I'm just. It's fine. I wasn't. I wasn't sure what the opening scene was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But now
It's-
I think it's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, it's just
Alright.
something that sets us. It sets the time and the place. What is it they call it? Period, place, drama, and duration makes a scene, right? So, this bombs the crap out of them, and the Cavalier goes running off in the direction of Warwick Castle, which is about 3 days' walk away. And then we could open up on, like, I basically gave you the opening image in the prompt because that's, it's the king talking to this captain, telling him he's got to go on a mission. And
the captain of the Parliament, or the captain of the Royalists?
Captain of the Royalists.
Okay.
So these are against the big weapon that just bombed the crap out of everybody. And the captain arrives at Warwick Castle and he's told he's got to go on this mission. And they say, you need to bring him back. You need to bring back the guy who created it, and you need to attack this fortress, which we have yet to name. But to do that, I am going to switch it now to Thomas, who needs to tell us the name of the captain's ship, the female captain that arrives, and what the history is between them.
Captain, ship, and you said female captain?
Yeah, of the other ship, because he says where brawn and bullets may fail.
Yeah.
Brains and beauty may do, but she doesn't like being called a beauty, even though she is.
Oh, I got you. She's a strong female character.
Yeah, and this guy's a strong male.
She's not just beauty.
Yeah.
All right. So I want the main captain's ship to be called the Five Trysts.
The what?
The Five Trysts.
Five Tryst? Okay.
Like Fortress, but with a five. Instead it's five.
Okay.
Because they think they're better and more powerful than a fortress. Okay. All right.
Does she get the Six Trysts then?
Yes. Right. Yeah. You have a fortress, but I have the Five Trysts.
And yeah, that's what I mean. Is the woman captain's the Sixtress?
No, that'd be ridiculous.
Okay. Or the mistress.
Hers could be the floating fortress, and he just has to one-up her.
Yeah, it's the floating fortress. Hers is I am more brains than brawn, and that's a long name for a ship. So just acronym that, and that should be good.
What, the flame fortress?
More brains.
The if
than brawn.
So
so it's IAMBTB. All right, so whatever that is.
Hey, Steampunk, we like acronyms.
That's what I'm saying. It's the IAMBTB. You can't mess with that ship. Is that the IAMBT? Everyone will just, by the time they finish it, there'll already be attack. So there's strategy to the name. Okay, I am more brains than brawn. All right. Now we need a name for the male captain and the female captain.
Yeah.
Is that what we need?
Yes.
All right. So let's go with the guys. The guy captain name is Clevin. All right, like Clevin, Kleven.
Okay.
Like Clevin. Clevin. All right. Do we need a last name, or can we? He can be Clev, and his last name could be Vin, if you want. But Clevin's fine. All right. Let's go with a female's name.
That's too close to Kevin.
That's too close. Yeah. So this is just Clevin. Yeah. And Darcy is the female, but it's Darci, just for the fun of it.
Oh, like my sister-in-law.
Yeah, there you go, Darcy. So we got Clevin and Darcy. Clevin has the Five Trysts, and Darcy has the IAMBTB. And
IAMVTB.
No, IAMBTB, because it's I am more brains than brawn.
I have more brains than brawn. Okay. And I think we need to go to level 2 to establish the history, right?
I don't know your writing process, so.
Well, level 2 is meet the villain, a meaningless task. Or no, we're still in the opening scene, so you get to name that. You get to invent some kind of a history between these two characters.
I do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Between Clevin and Darcy?
Yes. What's the history?
All right. Okay. Well, it says here that you want that they have some sort of history to them.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, they're a little historic. Oh, wait, we don't have to worry about that. Where is it?
I mean personal history, not like historical context,
Yeah, No. Yeah, no. I'm going. I got it. All right. So let's say it says here she's more complex. So that's interesting. That's very. All right. All right. I got it.
Okay.
So their connection is that she was always afraid of ships, right? And Clevin is the one that taught her how to overcome that fear by learning how to sail the ships through the sky. And Clevin was basically her mentor and friend, who was like, "There's no need to fear these beasts. You know, they live by our control, no matter how vicious the battlefield is or the air." And so she overcame her fear of the ships through his tutelage. And through that, they grew a older brother, younger sister kind of relationship. There you go.
Okay. So we have an opening image.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, does she have real armor on, or is it that fake armor where it just covers the nipples, and we expect it to protect her, and then but Clevin has full plate mail? Is that? I just want to know how ridiculous.
Well, it's the English Civil War, so the most armor worn was a helmet and a breastplate.
Well, what now? Do guys get to wear breastplates, or do they have to have implants?
Well, it's not quite an implant; it's more of an augmentation.
No, that's true. That's right. It isn't.
We're dealing with the world of steampunk. It could be implanted.
It could be like rope. Like he could hit a button and it
Yeah, it could clockwork.
The clockwork boobies.
And interlock.
Yeah, clockwork boobies, and that's what holds his breastplate on. He doesn't have straps. He's beyond that.
They could all have clockwork armor.
They magnetize to the breastplate.
Yeah, he hits a thing and the clocks, turn to 5, and
Yeah.
That sounds magnetized. It'd have to be powder driven, so he strikes a flint and it launches off a zipper that then launches forward and zips tight to him from the explosion.
It'd probably be like a key that he turns and then releases.
Yeah, like the guy from Hellboy.
Yeah,
the guy who turns his thing where he's like crank, 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 crank. He turns and gets his heart going. It could be like that, but it's a key.
Yeah.
But you run that on a combustion with the powder that has to be put in every 15th turn.
Combustion. We're trying to keep this rated PG over here, buddy.
I mean,
I like just the idea of a key for the armor, and it and interlocks. It sounds cool. It's fitting with the genre.
And Darcy just wears lingerie, right? How's that work? I forget how they do females in these stories.
leather vest over a low cut U serving wench.
Okay. But she is more than just complex. A serving wench who's attractive. She is also a brain. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, who has the magnetic boobies? Is it Clevin or Darcy that has the magnetic?
Clevin has the robotic boobies.
Okay.
I thought they both did.
No. She's not. Well, she's obviously perfectly stabilized D's with a 3 waist. Obviously, we're trying to make this realistic.
Yeah. We're going full anime.
Yeah, and Clevin is 6'6".
6'6", with big bulging muscles to protect you.
Yeah. But when he's in his armor, he looks like a normal sized person.
How about when his armor unlocks, it actually pulls his shirt open to reveal the bulging chest?
Yeah. He's basically looks like Fabio, but with
his hair falls down. And
less bird hitting the face.
Yeah.
Are you going that nose heavy?
I've got a drawing of our magnetic clockwork boobies.
All right,
wait till the end of level 2.
Trevor. Let's see this.
I got to wait to show you all.
Yeah, he has to wait till the end of level 2.
Do we have to roll the die for this? Just for the anticipation. I feel bad because I actually just put all my dice away for D&D. I literally could have been like, shh.
So we've established. I think she wears one of those really cute tri-corner hats as well with the veil on it.
Oh yeah, because that helps.
Yeah,
it's for military purposes.
Yeah. A little similar to what Jessica's wearing now, but with a veil that doesn't quite cover the eyes.
Yeah. Right now, Jessica can see things, but we want to have a veil so she's prettier and she can't see. Yeah, so it's practical as well.
Yeah, let's go the full typical male here. It's completely impractical, but it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, but she's strong. She's a strong female character, but
you're actually going with the anime face coverings that actually get done quite often.
Yeah, but we have a rule about anime on my shows. You know that.
And we have to make it clear as much as possible that she is more than just looks. She's also brain. Yeah. So I think we should have a character that follows her and goes, that's a great idea for someone who's also attractive. I think that'll be important for her character.
A cat.
Well, you know who I'm thinking of is my favorite actress / scientist, Hedy Lamarr.
Oh, yes.
And so we can make her kind of like Hollywood. Like, it's such a shame that I'm beautiful, because that's all people will know me as. It's just too bad. I'm so gorgeous.
How about if she has a little clockwork cat that walks on 2 legs that follows her?
Monty, yes. We are not kind to cats on this show. And
I know we're not. But we're going to call this one Ash with an F.
That's why the email was like, no animals.
We're going to call this one Fash.
Every time
Ash with an E was the last one, so we're going to call this Ash with an F. Fash.
Why don't we add the clock sound to it so it's like Ash?
In fact, I'm going to throw that one open to Elizabeth, if she's still here.
Are you here, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth, what do you think of Fash?
Only 6 people here.
I mean, we're just not kind to cats. Sadly.
I think Elizabeth gets to call that, but I think like a little clockwork cat that actually talks.
I love that idea.
That follows her around and he announces her. The incredibly intelligent, but buxom.
He's happy someone's using Cleven's name in the message board.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to go to level 2. And on your screen now, the panel can't see this, but on the screen now, if you are watching, you can see level 2, and that is the unimportant task: meet the supporting cast and meet the villain. Now, when we say meet the villain, it can just be a hint at who the villain is. We don't have to discuss them. We don't have to show a scene with them. We can just explain who the villain is through dialogue or through story mechanics. And we also meet the supporting cast. And the unimportant task comes in, and I am going. And because in my system these can go in any order, you can jumble them around to make your story work. I am going to go with meet the support cast. Yeah. What am I going to go with meet the villain?
Meet the villain.
Meet the villain. That sounded very Tenacious D then.
Tenacious D.
Yeah. So I am going to go with. I am going to go with. Yeah, I'm going to go with meet the villain.
Like meet the parents, but meet the villain.
Yeah, but I'm actually going to introduce the villain.
Why does Trevor get a invisible cloak and we don't?
It's to do with his bladder, I think.
That's his magical power. He vanishes when his bladder explodes.
Yeah. So we are going to meet the villain, and the villain is Commander Lord the General Farquhar Farquharson. Right?
That's awesome.
And he is in charge of the regiment, and he comes bursting down and in the regiment, controlling the fortress.
Can you say his name again?
Farquhar Farquharson.
Farquhar
Farquharson.
Like with an R, like Farquharson.
Yeah, Farquharson. And he's from Cornwall, so it sounds like Farquhar Farquharson when you say it. Farquhar Farquharson. And
So he's not like
So he's
Javier
the
Butler
effort.
with his speaking. He's less.
So he's the double effer.
Yeah, he's the double effer. A whole lot of hef around this guy. He's the son of an F. Farquharson.
Does he have a clockwork cat?
No, but he's in the fortress Cogsworth. And the Fortress Cogsworth is this massive tower that stands like it's like a castle, but it's got like a massive tower in the centre, and there are cannons that move around like clockwork on 3 levels. So the cannons are all turning around, like
So exposed gears for positioning and targeting.
yeah, and they move around constantly. So they're always, there's always something pointing in 360 degrees.
So does the whole tower rotate on gears, or is it just the?
Imagine a lower floor that's like a castle. Okay. And it's like all brick and stone, but then the next level up in the centre of the castle where the keep would be, it's like on a pedestal, but then you've got 3 floors of rotating cannons that are about 20 foot tall each.
Okay, so like the individual floors just kind of rotate around independently.
Yeah. And then on the top of that, there's
Is there enough room for the backlash?
Oh,
You know,
yeah, plenty. It's a naval cannon. It works on ropes. And then on the top, there's this massive ball that looks like the globe, almost like the ball on top of the Hellfire Club, if you've ever seen it. And this is like fully gold, right? And it's got it's got like an observatory roof on it, but it's closed. And then just below that, there's another floor which is rotating also, and that has like magnifying glasses on it that are like really huge and everything. So this place is designed to spot people coming at a distance, and the drawbridges are all set on gears. So as Farquhar's approaching, you hear the clunk of gears, and this drawbridge open, but it only goes halfway, and then it opens again on gears. So it's like a 2-phase drawbridge as you pass it. And out at the end of the drawbridge, these 2 massive like clockwork knights appear and hold their things across to block the way as you approach it. And as he walks inside, he gets out the carriage and he steps onto an escalator that takes him up into the pedestal, and he goes storming through, and that's the laboratory where we are introduced to the clockermaker, right? And he's an old guy, and he's sitting there. He's got bald head with the hair hanging down like a bit like Benjamin Franklin to look at. And he's sitting there and he's tinkering over his little clocks and everything, and he's making a scale model of this ship with the wings on it, and he's showing out all the modifications are working. And they're not happy with the test. Farquhar's not happy with the test that they fired. He said it was only supposed to fire 1 bloody cannonball, and the entire battery opened up and flattened the castle we need. He's not very happy.
Could he also have like a character trait where he's always late because he's the clockmaker, but he's always late?
I was going to go with something else, and that is he's always asking what time it is.
What time?
I was going to go with a trait like that, where he's always like, he uses a sundial. You know?
Not a daughter dial?
No, it's definitely a sundial. It's the late Middle Ages. But he's sitting there and he's got like his leather apron on, and he's like, I've told you we need to add more gears in order to make them fire independently. It's the only way that we can compensate for the backlash is to provide the gears. Otherwise the whole thing's going to spin round and tip upside down, and you're going to lose your entire crew. And this, like, Farquhar's not very happy with this, and he says, any more of your lip and I'll see to it that your daughters are sent to Timbuktu to serve in the harem.
Not Scotland.
No, not Scotland.
Because wouldn't that be more? That's what I'm saying. We're sending you to Scotland.
And he threatens to send his daughters to serve in and they will spend their lives living in the harems of the Ottomans. And he's like, don't threaten my daughters. And he's like, don't mess up then. And he goes storming out. To the sound of men clattering and coming to attention as he walks down them. And he
doesn't hit his head he doesn't hit his hat on the door leaving, does he?
Nah, because I don't want to make it too comic-y.
Alright.
I want to make it like he is a competent guy, you know?
Well, the stormtroopers were competent, and they hit their head multiple times in those movies.
Only once.
No, they repeated it as a joke in the prequels. George Lucas did that, and also in the Clone Wars, the cartoon, the animated cartoon.
Yeah.
They made them hit them heads as well. Very funny.
Oh, sorry, I've got my magnifier in. So that is the villain, and he goes storming off, and as he's going past, he sees two girls, and he's like, you 11:30, you 12 foot. In fact, I'll see you at 11:45 and you at midnight. Bring a friend.
That's Prince of Thieves.
Yes, you notice my Alan Rickman impression.
That's Alan Rickman.
There will be no messing with potions in this class, Potter. And as he's
bring a friend.
As he's walking through, he sees like this little kid comes up to him and he goes, "Arms, sir, arms," and he goes, "Get this wretch away from me!" Like, you know, he's like one of them, and he goes storming off up to his room.
So he's like evil.
He's you know, Darth Vader is bad, but that Farquaad.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Good. Well, Darth Vader doesn't have male genitalia because he was burnt, so like he can't do the.
Oh, and he's that's why you said I hate you. I hate you. And you also notice as he's walking across, you can hear kink, 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 kink. And when he gets up to his room, he pulls it back and he reveals he's got clockwork legs.
Oh my god! I thought you were gonna say something.
Okay, and the clockwork legs have got this
got it.
like two sand timers in it. And those sand timers are gunpowder, and they're falling onto this crystal, and that crystal is what powers his legs.
Now, isn't that dangerous though? Like, would that end up being something that we utilize at the end of the story? Like, that's how he gets defeated? Is the gunpowder?
We don't write the end of the story. We only go to the end of the second act.
But it sets someone up to have a really great ending of the story.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. Blow his legs up.
Or he can remove his leg, stuff a cannonball in there, put some powder inside, and use it as a hand cannon.
Puts his leg up on the wall and goes boom.
Yeah.
Or
maybe that's what happens at the midpoint.
His leg for the crystals.
That's very Final Fantasy for you.
Yeah, save that because we can always reveal more later.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys do a midpoint conflict, but that would be good for the midpoint conflict reveal.
We have two.
Yeah.
We have a.
You have two midpoints?
Yeah, we have because the one thing that this differentiates with the cast is you actually see more of the villain, so you can add more complexity to the villain. So we have at the start. We'll get to it.
We need to move along the
yeah.
level 2 a little quicker here.
Yeah. So Trevor, you have a useless task or not a useless task, and you know what I mean. And
it's always a useless task.
The unimportant task.
The unimportant task, and meet the supporting cast.
All right.
To choose from.
Let's see. So, the unimportant task. I'm going to take the unimportant task. We're going to have... Let's see. We're going to have Captain Darcy.
Yeah.
We're going to switch to Captain Darcy's POV. And Darcy is going to, in her unimportant task, she's going to decide she's going to go visit a tinkerer. And she is going to get herself a monocle. And it is going to be something that is going to be retrofitted back to, I don't know, some insert stuff here to make stuff happen. But it's a monocle, and it's going to give her the ability to see stuff. Make it like a telescoping monocle. Be like,
Okay,
like
I've
a
got one of
scope
them in my bag here.
well, all right. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, look. I did a thing. No.
I
So
did
her whole task right now is to go buy stuff from a tinkerer.
Okay.
Because that, I mean, you know, and outfit her however we please. Because, you know, hey, more stuff.
Yeah. And this would, because we're only doing an outline here, but this would be the point that you explore the world and flesh it out a bit and show a bit more of the world in action. Mike,
Yep.
Yes.
you got stuck with the Sportcast.
Meet the supporters.
Yeah.
So, first of all, kind of what Trevor did there, and I'll solidify it. Our Captain
Clevin.
Kevlin, he's the gentleman who thinks he's the protagonist, right? He thinks he's the main character in this story, but us, we're a little more unpredictable than that. So Darcy's going to be our protagonist, but she doesn't know she is.
Okay.
So the main cast that we're really looking at here, besides those two, is building out Darcy's supporters a little bit. We've already talked about her steampunk kitty cat, her clockwork kitty cat named, I don't remember what you called it.
Fawn.
You gave it a name.
Fash.
Fash. So we have
Fash with an
Fash,
F.
which is not just a kitty cat that follows her, but her attendant, someone who announces people, who shares messages, works with the various people reporting to and from her, and helps her do communications. So she'll give her orders to Fash, and that will actually be shared with her first mate, second mate, and so on. Her first mate, we'll make that a woman, and we'll call her Jessie.
Jesse.
With an eye?
Sure.
Okay.
Change my note. Jessie with an eye.
I like it.
If she's Jessie with an eye, she's got to wear an eye patch.
Of course.
All right.
But with an eye on it.
Yes.
It has a clock eye.
Yeah.
With an eye with long lashes drawn on and nice highlights.
And then there's like a veil over the clock eye.
Yes.
Just that
Like
one
to make
side.
it harder
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse with an eye, you don't say.
But it's
Jessie
flowing silver hair, out of character for this timeline, but specifically for her. She's type that wears the leather suspenders, fully covered over her chest, very properly nice dressed with decent leather trousers.
Does she have a nice
For our
apple
viewers
pie?
in England, leather suspenders are braces in England and not a garter belt. Thank you.
Yes, but I'm not in England, so I call them suspenders.
Okay.
So that's her first mate, someone she could really trust, but is a little on the younger side and hasn't had the worldly experience that even Darcy has had, which is not nearly as much as her mentor, Kelvin.
Okay.
Her second mate is an older gentleman, more the gives off the feeling of like the butler type. Very calm, collected, just the type of person is super stoic, but you don't want to cross. He's like the enforcer type, but not overly aggressive. If you get him to get mad, you know you're in trouble. He isn't going to take an action unless he's going to finish that action, and that's really her main go-to for any type of Ruffigan type of situation, where she needs help, support, or just someone to stare someone down.
So he has callous hands, and his fingernails are not kept nice. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'd say he actually has callous hands and beautiful painted fingernails.
All right.
Just
so
because
he's a
the
button
contradiction
man.
makes him a little bit more scary.
So he's basically her button man, is what you would call him.
Yes, that'd be a good description.
All right.
And
so I think that's her main team.
I think I just want to add. I just think that guy that you just said should have like a Vulcan cannon musket.
I totally agree. Strapped all the time.
Yeah.
And a saber across the hip.
Yep.
Captain also has a saber across the hip.
What did he say?
Can we call him Phineas?
Phineas. With a PH.
Because of his nice butt in those leather pants. He has the Phineas butt. Phineas in those leather pants of his.
Yeah. And I'm sorry for the viewers who just saw my email.
So we have the full crew that complements her.
Yeah.
But bigger than in life than anything else is the ship. Her ship, the IMBTB, is more of a character and support cast to this story than I would see any of the other parts of the crew.
Okay.
That is the supporters.
Which takes us to level 2.
You mean level 3?
Level 3.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to do a small disaster, something learned, something motivating, a great catastrophe, and a game is afoot.
Yeah, and you can see them on your screen now. And Shay, you can pick any one of those in whatever order you want.
Now, to be fair, now that we've got a cat, it can literally be a catastrophe.
Mm. Get out. Okay.
That's a fine feline to cross, sir.
So, a small disaster, something learned, something motivating, a great catastrophe, or the game is afoot. And the only one that has to stay in place on this one is the game is afoot, for obvious reasons.
Oh, that has to be last?
Yeah. Because that's your leading.
Disaster. That's easy. They ate Mexican food. And then they have to run off to the bathroom.
But any of the others are your choice.
Okay. I guess I'm going to go with something motivating. So the king calls these two guys, well, the girl and the other captain, the guy, Clevin. So he calls Clevin and Darcy, and they have to... He wants them to figure out Farquaad's plans, and wants them to kidnap the clockmaker, because he needs some of this fancy clockwork stuff that this Farquaad guy has. And so he knows that he doesn't do this stuff himself. So he tells them the first one to bring him the clockmaker will be backed financially for the rest of their sailing days.
Nice. Short, simple, and cool. Do you want to elaborate a little? Because you've hardly spoken. And
both Clevin and Darcy think that their crews and their ships can make it to this Farquaad guy, and Darcy thinks that her crew can outsmart and outthink Clevin's crew, and they will have the clockmaker to the king in 3 days.
3 days, okay. So then we're going to go back to Jessica. You get to pick whichever one of those you want that are remaining.
Except for something motivating. And a game is afoot.
Something. I'm going to do something learned.
Okay.
We're going to learn that that Captain Darcy has clockwork legs, and
just like the villain.
Just like the villain.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
And so then we wonder what the connection is, and we find out that they're actually linked together too, because they both actually know who the clockmaker is, because they were helped by the same person.
The Tinkerer, who the Tinkerer is.
Yeah. The Tinkerer, yeah, the clockmaker.
Yeah.
Connected to each other via the Tinkerer.
Yes.
And their love of pears, obviously.
Love of bears. Do her legs work in exactly the same manner, or are they slightly different?
They're
Her
slightly
knees don't
different
bend.
because they thought because she was a woman that she should have them more attuned to a woman. So instead of just regular legs, hers are made out of hers are adorned with special rhinestones and rubies and things like that. It was supposed to be not just physicality, but an artistic masterpiece on the clockmaker tinkerer's part.
Okay.
With filigree tattoos.
Right.
Agreed. And do any of these bits have a special power? Any of these gems?
Yes, actually. They use the powers according to their gemstone meanings, and so there's actually a little bit of magic involved in the powder, because if you grind up these gemstones and make dust, then they can also become weaponized, just like the black powder.
Okay.
And so the black powder might have something even more magical to it, like I don't know. I think maybe it's powerful enough the way it is.
I think if just to throw this out there, I think it might be fun if sometimes, like, if we follow the Sanders magic to method, if it's possible, you can use it later.
Okay.
So if someone wants to create something as we go along, they can. But you having established it's possible. Just
Follow the what method?
the Sanders. Sanderson.
Sanderson?
Yeah.
Okay. Hard magic?
Mm-hmm. Like, we said make it possible, then it can be.
At our age, at least my age, everything is soft magic. Is anyone allergic to the powder version of those gems? You said you crush them up, they turn to a powder, and you could use them just like the black powder pistol powder.
Yeah.
Is anyone allergic to the powder form of the gems?
Well, it does become a bit of a problem between the crown and the what are they called again? The
Roundheads.
The Roundheads.
Roundheads.
Yeah.
Because they both
Take your time, Jessica. We believe in you.
sorry.
Do your
Just
thing.
breathe the marijuana in.
Yeah. And we already know what the Sapphire's going to do after Thomas's previous comment.
That's right. Right. It allows you to enjoy hard magic.
Yeah, so I think I was even thinking as far as being allergic, maybe instead of being allergic, it's causing an ecological problem, and that's part of why there is a civil war in England at this time, is because harvesting these gemstones is creating an ecological disaster.
Which we call
But-
Cleveland.
And slave trade and blood money and intrigue and all types of good stuff.
I have an idea.
Yes.
So what if...
Trevor, your mic's not on mute.
Say again?
Your mic's
Mike,
not on
it's
mute.
not on mute. Yeah. It's not on mute. If you want to just mute it before you say your idea. No, I'm sorry.
So I'm getting like big powder mage vibes from this, right?
Yeah.
So what if the gemstones, you were the gemstones like powder mage,
Power up.
like the powder mages, and it was creating addictions? Because I mean, obviously, you know, Thomas needs his sapphires. He's got his sapphires at least once a day. Twice. Twice on Sundays.
That's right. The holy day.
Emeralds
if you know
cause
what I mean.
allergies.
The holy day.
And so that much very powder mage-esque, that's what powers whatever abilities they have. That way you're creating a real world cost behind it because you're putting gemstones in your bloodstream.
But the benefit would be like double the power for anything powder driven. So like their appendages, their legs that are powder driven, if they take a little of a gemstone, then they get that extra boost for a period, but it has a long-term effects on their health.
Yeah, like
And
they get
addiction.
diarrhea.
Well,
Or addiction.
Right. Well, you know, in
Can run, you know, simultaneously.
if y'all remember, like in if y'all read Powder Mage, the more the people that use it, the more and more often they start getting nosebleeds. They start having, you know, random aneurysms if they use their power too much.
They start looking like heavy crack users. Yeah.
Yeah,
Leave
but
my brother out of this.
Sapphire, it's good because it's
But the-
blue.
We needed more of a
advantage-
curve.
The advantage is if they do snort their gunpowder, they're able to curve their bullets and whatnot.
Yeah, I like the
So-
curbing the bullets thing.
I mean, well, that's powder mage right there.
Yeah.
But it's given them a finite cost behind it. You know, do you want to be the best sniper ever? Okay, take your aneurysm.
Yeah. So we could so similar to Mistborn, we could assign a gemstone to a power. Like tin improves your senses, gold makes you see double.
Yep.
You know.
Is that really a power though? Like, hey, I have gold in me now. I can see double. Like,
Well,
wouldn't
I
that
haven't
make it
finished the
difficult?
book yet, so I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I like
Monty's
that. Nice one, Jessica.
Working his way through Mistborn for the first time, and I'm not going to give him what gold actually does, because if I tell him what gold actually does,
It'll
I'm
ruin it.
spoiling stuff.
Yeah, don't ruin it. But
So
how
stop.
about Emerald makes you just feel happy and hungry for the munchies.
Right?
Because it's
'Cause
green.
it's green.
Yeah. I like it, Jessica.
For the
Good
record,
call on
I've
that
never
one.
done a drug in my life, but it doesn't seem that way.
So we have, and she has obviously got a collection of these gemstones on her legs. So
Why are they on her? They're on her legs, not like in pockets where they won't fall off or anything.
no, she had her legs done. It was like filigree.
Oh, I see. They
'Cause
just
she's a
hang out
woman.
in there.
Ooh, what? Here's
She's
what
got
another idea.
legs. She
Her
knows how to use them.
adornments on her legs can be little vials of powdered gemstones in like an alcohol solution, and whenever she clicks a button, it injects it directly into the bloodstream, so she doesn't have to snort it mid-combat.
Wow.
Who said wow then? I don't know whether it was Jessica or Shay. Okay, yeah. So she's got little clockwork grinders which grind those gems down a little bit at a time to remake the powder that she needs to inject herself with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we've never... Now we've established that Light Lieutenant Dan, she's got magic legs.
Lieutenant Dan,
Lieutenant Dan?
you don't got legs.
You ain't got no legs, Lieutenant Dan.
They're made
That's
out
my
of
shrimp boat.
titanium, just like the flying monster. Okay, so how are we doing for time?
We're at 9:30.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Or 6:30 if you're in LA.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Which means we have extra time.
Which one are you taking,
It could be
Thomas?
sometime tomorrow if you go far enough.
Which one are you taking, Thomas?
Well, I guess there's a small disaster left and a great catastrophe is what I have.
Yep.
Oh wait, didn't they do it? All right. Let's do a great catastrophe.
Okay.
Who has the big? Who's handling the big ship that was in the first scene? The big weapon.
Farquhar.
Fakwa.
Yep.
And is Clevin and the Darcy? Are they against that ship?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Can we say that one of the Farquhar's soldiers on the ship is actually a spy for either Clevin or Darcy? It doesn't matter to me. And the great catastrophe is that they actually sabotage a ship, making it so that the villain now there's a clock on the board. No pun intended. Don't hand that to me. But so basically, the sabotage messes up the engines or something like that, and now they're basically stuck where they are. So they're sitting ducks. Gives them a chance. So now we have they have to fix the ship to get it
But
going.
Phineas seemed like such a nice guy.
So
He's
if it's
Phineas to fix this ship.
it would have to be Darcy's ship because Darcy's the protagonist, and Clevin would have a lead on her, trying to rescue the.
So Darcy's has the spy on the Farquhar's ship.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Sounds
they have
good.
to-
That's
Phineas
why-
is the spy.
They have to fix the engine.
Who's the spy? Who's the spy? Oh.
Phineas,
There-
the guy who looks all unassuming. He's the butler type. He looks helpful. He's quiet, but he has the muscle.
Oh, so he's been working. So we're taking him away from Darcy in that moment, then.
No, I wouldn't take him away from Darcy.
Yeah, Darcy.
assign
he's-
some.
Okay.
Yeah, Darcy's. So that Phineas is the button man. He's the make the things happen guy.
You
So,
need a red shirt for
Oh
that.
no, that leaves Jesse with the eye patch.
Oh,
No,
that's
you
good.
can. There's other crew.
have
You
red
can throw a
shirts.
red shirt in as a spy.
Yeah. Throw Captain
Okay.
Picard in there. He has a red shirt. Engage. No thanks. Yeah, but that's my great catastrophe, and that would establish going into the second act at least. Now there's a clock on the board, so there's a chance. Will someone actually make it? You know, but
Yep.
hey.
And I am going to. Well, that leaves me. I've got to go with a small disaster.
Yeah.
So, while they're trying to while they're trying to sort out fixing the engine, they have to go down to the ground. And when they are on the ground, they stumble into a Roundhead patrol as they're marching through. Swords are drawn, musket Vulcan cannon is pulled free, and we have a bit of a battle on the ground.
But I thought the rule is never bring a sword to a cannon fight.
Yeah, but this is an alternate universe, so they can swatch cannonballs, split them in half as they're firing past with their swords.
Well, maybe they're snorting the gems that make it possible.
Well, I was going to say, well, it could be, yeah, but
we'll utilize the soft magic or hard magic.
But as they're coming through, the monocle picks up that there's cavalry approaching. So as they are doing, as they're stopping the cavalry, they've got to stop the cavalry and they've got to continue fighting the infantry. So as the Roundhead cavalry is approaching, Jessica goes running forward, and she stands there, and she's not battle hardened and everything like that, like this with some diamonds. And as they're coming towards her, they all strike her, and the javelin, the lances just break on her because she's diamonds, right? So everything just cracks on her, and she stands there and she goes, "Diamonds are a girl's best friend." And as she turns around, she takes her in the chest, a musket ball in the chest, because the power's not in the chest, in the gut. And so she's wounded right now, and they have to carry her back to the ship. They can save her, but she's wounded badly, and they have to sort of get her back to the ship and disengage with the part. Disengage.
I like it.
But now the game is afoot, Trevor. And I have to be quick now, guys.
Go ahead, Trevor. The game is afoot.
All right.
We hand it over to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to make a command decision so we can move the story along. The game is afoot, the engine's fixed, and they're going for it. We're moving on to the next level. So,
right, cool.
Which one from the next level do you want? We are on level 4.
That was an excellent solution, Trevor.
See?
I just want to make sure we get to the end of the second act.
So let's go ahead, and I'm going to do a little bit about our big bad guy because, well, you know me and bad guys.
No, I don't actually. This is the first time I've met you, Trevor.
Oh, all right. So I love bad guys. That's
there's
my
the second
favorite part
act
of any stories. So,
all right. Hey, listen, whoever you want to date, whatever.
I mean, you know what? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right?
That's right. Is that what we learn about the bad guy? He likes to date non-military men.
So I'm going to say that we're going to go back to our bad guy's bedroom, and with his random concubines that he's called up into his room in the middle of the night. 11:30 and 11:45.
Yeah.
So he's going to be there with his clockwork legs, and you're going to see that he is also very similar to our Darcy in that, but instead of having a push valve to infuse himself with various gemstones, his are on a drip feed. And so he is fully addicted to this stuff. Without it, without a constant infusement of power, he would probably go into withdrawals pretty quickly. But because he's never separated from them, he's getting all of our various powers that we don't have established at the same time, all of the time. So whereas Darcy has him on like a little plunger where she goes and she gets her burst of whatever it is, and she uses up that amount of powder, our guy is constantly being infused. Now, what it could also be doing is because he's using it so much and so often, it could be hurting his actual physical health. So more and more of his body is being converted into clockwork as he goes because, well, stuff is... your body doesn't like being turned into gemstones.
I'd like it because...
So where's the drip coming from? Does he have like a little, teddy bear backpack on or something, carrying it in to have the line infused into him?
I would say let's go with the gruesome, and let's say that it's surgically implanted along his spine.
Oh, nice,
But where's the source of it? Like, is he carrying a coloscopy bag around, or?
Yeah, it's like
It's testicles.
Yeah. He's got his little My Little Pony backpack.
Hold on, we're missing a golden opportunity here. When he takes his helmet off, he's got a big round head, and that's
That's the holder.
What's he, the leader?
yeah, it's just like a big round ball of. It's like almost
So
like
he's
helmet.
got like the upgraded drink helmet.
Yeah,
Do people ever go up to him and be like, your head, it's...
yeah. It's like the
Sounds
British
like
police
the ocean
helmets.
in
Does your
there.
head go all the way to the top of that hat? It's like that with the rounded helmet. It's like a big
Yeah, like
round
he takes the hat off.
infusion going straight into his brain.
Do people ever go, maybe
Right.
you should stop snorting that dust?
And he's like,
It's going to your head, buddy.
just one
Yeah.
more to get me through the day, and I'm done with. I promise.
Now here's the question: if you've got a constant drip of sapphire going on, man, then you know what? That might be why he's so angry all the time.
Could be. To explain
That
why he
or,
needs
you
one
know.
at 7:30 and one at 11. Anyway, I like that idea, and I would say let's go with the big round head because he's a round head.
All right. But he has the hat.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
he
in
has
if he
the
doesn't
he has
have a
the
hat.
roundhead
Right.
helmet on,
Right, good.
and
But you don't want to make him like, you don't want to go too
I'm
funny.
envisioning the Spaceballs helmet right now.
Yeah,
that's all
like
I
it-
can think of.
yeah, like helmet, Darth
Yeah.
helmet. Sorry,
Darth
You
helmet.
say don't go too funny. I say don't stop.
That's what Montgomery was saying, hey, let's not make it too funny. We want to make, but now we're making the character have a literal round head as the leader of the Roundheads. But everyone knows I drink my coffee when I watch the radar. So.
We've got Megamind here as our bad
Yeah, that's
we've
what it
got
looks like.
Steampunk Megamind.
well, it is still Flintlock powder fantasy, so we can distort somewhat.
See,
You
the
know?
question I have is that powder flammable?
Well, yeah, because
I mean,
we
yeah, it's
established
gunpowder.
Because could we actually
gunpowder.
light the bowl?
That's why he has to keep the helmet on.
So good.
Yeah.
Do I get the B story? What's the deal here?
Well, we've got to go to Michael next, and then you've got a long way to wait, mate.
Man, I have a great B story. All right, fine.
Where am I at? So you got the bad guy. Yeah, I'll go with the B story. So
Denied.
I'm out.
So during this, we start to learn a little background about Darcy and get an idea of kind of how she started getting her augmentations. Turns out during some of her explorations and adventures with Kelvin that she had an accident, lost her legs, and he took her to the Tinkerer to help save her life and build her up and make things better. Well, part of this, she realizes that over time her fittings have gone bad. They need to be adjusted. They need to be worked out. She's starting to feel the degradation of the joints that are getting too much powder use.
Uh-huh.
So through this, while she knows she needs to grab the Tinkerer, and she knows she wants to do it before Cloven gets to him, she also wants to find time and a place to have him do the work needed to help restore her to her full functionality. And so she has a great concern of actually doing this and beating him. It's not a thing of pride, it's a thing of health, but something she doesn't want to actually talk to Kelvin about, because she feels a sense of pride to this and doesn't want to make him feel obligated to continue to support her throughout after that event.
Okay. Shay! Did you have a question before we went on? Because you was lifting your hand up.
Me?
No, Shay.
Oh, I was scratching my back.
No? Okay, it's your turn.
It said zipper.
Okay, and so are we on level 5 now?
Level 4.
You would have to start exploring.
Oh, start exploring. Okay, so
The purpose of start exploring means we can go into the world and start looking at some of the devices and start looking at some crazy stuff. Like, let your imagination run wild here.
okay, so as to the tower, Farquaad's tower. They are loading up their weapons and gearing for an all-out war because they know that the ship is going to be nearby. They've heard what the cannons can do. If not, they've seen what the ship is capable of. So they are preparing their ship and their weapons for war. The crew is going to stay on the ship and man the cannons and try to keep the ship in the sky.
This is the big ship from the beginning. Because that's the roundhead ship. Sorry, what castle are you talking about here? Warwick Castle or the fortress?
The Farquaad's
fortress or the fortress?
Yeah, that they have the
tower.
It's them that have the big cannon ship.
Hmm?
It's them that have the secret weapon.
Yeah. And Darcy knows that it's going to be there, so they're trying to make a plan to have a distraction. So, yeah, she's looking around and they're exploring Farquaad's castle right now, trying to find a way in. They see the rotating clockwork stuff and all that, but they also see a lot of sentries on the ground, like people walking around in armor with weapons, like they have the clockwork breastplates and stuff like that, and they're walking around with their weapons patrolling the grounds.
Okay.
So if they want to get inside to the clockmaker, they're going to have to find a way past them.
Okay. Cool. Oh. Did you just see the dead eye she gave me then? It looked like you gave me the stare down because I went, ow. My question to you was how?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. My thing has a little bit of a lag.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, no, it's okay. So they're going to go on the ground, and the crew is going to drive the ship to the other side, and they're going to start firing from the ship to draw all the sentries away from the door.
Okay. So Darcy's crew can go charging in.
Yeah.
Okay. Jessica. We're back to you.
Okay, so I was thinking more about the powders and how that relates, and it circles back to the dapper and debonair Farquaad, who collects them and finds out he has a connection to his connection to the plucky Darcy is deeper than he thought. It turns out they might actually be related. And so now Darcy has this, maybe her uncle is the bad guy, and feeling that she found out. And then she's with her mentor, who she feels is like a brother to her, but they're on opposite sides of the table. So it's a lot about her and her feelings at this point.
Okay. What heading are you doing? Sorry.
I'm done.
No, I mean, what heading are you doing? What heading does that fall under?
Oh, I'm sorry. That fell under,
Sorry?
a team is forming.
Okay. So, you twisted the team feeling.
Yes.
You twisted it.
Yes.
Okay. So the team is not a good team.
No.
Okay. Thomas.
Oh, I want to do the sea story.
Okay.
All right. So the sea story is Clevin, right?
Died on salt water.
Yeah. Wait, what? He died on salt water? No, he bathes in salt water and blood. No. So Clevin's sea story is that he has to have an heir. So they give him this information that it turns out that where he lives, he's going to lose everything unless he has an heir. Like he has an heirborn, not heir like Scott, heir like a child, and he needs to have a child. So they're throwing that extra stress and urgency on top of him while he's also trying to fight this Farquaad guy. And he's like, I don't have time to think about this heir thing. I don't care about that. Like, that's why I never got married I don't even talk to women. I just want to be the greatest, sailor in the world. Right? So, I guess that gives away a lot too if he wants to be a sailor. But my point is that so he has to have an heir. So he gets news that hey, if you don't have a child by the within the next 6 months to a year, or you don't get someone pregnant, you're gonna lose your all your money and all your what do you call it, the estate. You're gonna lose your estate. You have to at least get someone pregnant for it to pause it. But if she doesn't have a child by the end of that pregnancy, like if the baby doesn't survive, you're gonna lose your entire estate. So you have 6 months to get someone impregnated, and then blah blah blah. And so this is just, and you give it that time, so now you have a clock.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a whole entirely male crew.
And he, except for the cat.
Except for the cat.
The cat's on the other crew.
He could have a cat too with a
okay.
robot, a clockwork tail or something. I don't know. There's a clock in his anus where his anus used to be.
This could be the crew that is non-clockwork augmented. So he could have the hairless cat or something.
Like my like my cousin.
And obviously his first choice is, well, Darcy's got brains, she'll understand.
No, Darcy's like his little sister.
Okay, Jessie with an eye.
Oh yeah, because he has a fetish for like fake eyes.
Yeah, he could say, I caught your eye. Do you want it?
He's holding the other eye hostage.
I gotta go get a drum and a cymbal.
I'll throw mine at you in a minute. So, what does that leave me? Are we on level 6?
No, you still got level 5. You got the first test, you got the first stumble, you got the second test.
Yep.
Okay, the first stumble. Darcy's crew go charging through the door.
Which door?
And the door of the castle that Shay mentioned. They were charging through the castle. So they charge through the castle, and all of a sudden, all the walls start moving. And they go down here, and then the walls start moving again. And they're like, okay, maybe it's this way. And they get down there, and all the walls start moving again. And they realise the walls are moving. They can't get out to get to the clock keeper. And even if they do get him, how do they get back? Because the walls keep moving. So the first stumble is they are trapped in this...
So it's like a labyrinth.
Yeah, in Pan's Labyrinth. And it just keeps moving, and they are trapped in there. And she reaches down, and she's like, we're going to need help here. I think I need someone who's dashing and cunning, and has the ability to formulate a plan that will come to a great success. Maybe Clevin knows someone. And they also stand the risk is the castle is now being bombarded by their own ship, so they risk being trapped in there. So she somehow uses one of these powders to communicate with the ship. One of her injections. Let's say silver. No, because it's not metals, it's gems.
Gemstones.
So let's say she uses garnet. Because garnet sounds like a communication kind of colour, doesn't it? Garnet for communication. So she communicates with the ship using garnet, and she says, we're going to need Clevin's help. And the cat's like, no. She's like, we need Clevin's help. And the cat's like, I refuse to do it. And she's like, have you ever heard of Ash with an E? He knows Ash with an E, that's his cat. And he's like,
Oh God.
okay, I'll call for Ash with an E. And
Now, for
I
someone who
need you
doesn't
to...
like
Crossing
cats, there are a
worlds
lot of
now?
cats in this story.
Well, the ship's cats.
It's all cats, like the movie Cats, where
Yeah.
they're all
No,
CGI.
it's good.
It's all cats. Cats all
So
the
it's-
way down.
So she has to send out a call for Clevin for help, and that's her first stumble. They're trapped.
Meow, meow, meow.
And just for the sake of speed, that's going to be the second test as well, getting in touch with him, so we can move on, because we're running low on time.
Again, another idea. The cats could be telephones. You talk. You hold the head up to your ear and you talk into the butt. Like
That's a catastrophe waiting to happen.
Hey,
A little
they
bit
pick
out
them
of
up,
period
and if
for that.
if they can't reach them, they pull the tail out.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I was on the tail end of the conversation.
let me wind my cat a little bit more.
You're holding the cat up like this.
It would only work is if like a big the record player microphone funnel pops out of the cat when they're trying to use it to communicate, and it just yells from the ground to the ship.
Like the old, because the earring trumpets were around back then.
Yeah,
So it's like a big earring trumpet comes out the side of the cats.
you just hear the cat screeching as it really loud, and the other end catches it in another one. Yeah.
He's like, what's he talking about? I don't know, something about like chicken and liver.
I just appreciate the fact that you've got to talk into the cat's butthole.
I
mean,
really... Okay.
That's the only way to
I'll give you
enjoy a
that
cat.
one. Because you've been good tonight. I'll give you the talking into the cat's butthole, alright.
Yes.
But, okay, so that got through the test as well. They found a way to communicate. So you can go on to the last one of 5.
All right, but real quick, instead of saying over with the cats, they got to say arse. Because they're talking to the cat ass.
Arse.
Trevor, did you hear me? Arse. I found the location. Arse.
Where is it, arse? No.
Yeah, where
arse.
is it? Arse. It's on the
Yeah,
lower
I said
bottom.
arse. No, arse.
Are you asking me a question? I don't understand.
I'm saying arse. Over. No? What? Arse over
Arse?
what?
We have a crappy reception here.
Forget it, I'll write you a letter.
Something about these phones stinks real bad.
Okay then, Trevor, we've got to move on. You should only have one left on level 5.
Let's see, that is the second test, yeah?
The second test and the stumble has
The
been
stumble.
done.
Okay.
Auntie, you just
No, we
did
already
the
had the
stumble.
stumble.
You
The
said that
first
was going to be
stumble.
the second test too, so we could move on.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm telling him what's gone, not what he's got
Okay.
left.
So while
okay.
they're
Roll
while
level
they're
6.
still inside, while they're in the castle and they're running around, she picks up her cat to start talking into her cat phone. Next thing you know,
Hold
you
on, Trevor.
hear,
Just a sec, mate. What are you on right now? What heading?
oh, I thought I was doing first stumble and second.
I just did
test.
them.
Now,
No,
first
you
stumble
should
was
be in
already
level
done.
6.
Yeah.
Oh, then what
I
am
mixed the
on?
two together for the sake of speed, but we've just lost
Oh.
that through
We're at
explanation.
level 6.
All right,
We're on
well
level
then-
6.
All right, then I'm gonna say bad guys assume win
Okay.
because why not? And it doesn't affect the way. So anyway, they're running through the castle. She's talking on the cat phone, and next thing you know, you hear a bang and. Now Robo Kitty is just Robo half a kitty, and
Kit.
That could be the first loss too.
right, that could be the first loss as well. Robo half a kitty, and what you're seeing now is
Are we allowed to kill
It's the-
cats? I
it's-
know we can't dogs.
it's the Lord Farquaad's lieutenant is showing up, and Lord Farquaad's lieutenant is like, so I see you've got your breastplate on. And he's got just the same kind of magnetic breastplate.
I'm totally
And-
envisioning Jackie Chan right now.
I think we would be better talking in dub than subtitle.
And so,
Your breastplate is the breast.
yeah. And so he...
It's very titillating.
They look over, and the lieutenant, one of his... part of his breastplate is a little minigun.
His lieutenant.
Yeah.
His lieutenant, his breastplate is a little minigun, and so one of the
What is this, Austin Powers?
and that's smoking,
Killing
and now they've got to fight the lieutenant, and the lieutenant starts to kick their ass because they just took out the Robo Kitty.
Can't believe they killed the cat. You lost me on the story. I
Yeah.
had to put the book down.
John Kennedy just says he was a feline instead of a fella.
It's a feline. We're on the feline.
I mean,
That's funny.
I said from the beginning this show is not often kind to cats. I said that
So
from the
crazy 'cause
beginning.
cats are so nice, especially if
Last
like you
time-
spin them
last time
around
we
on
had-
their tails.
Right.
You know.
That's what you call a catterphone.
Okay,
Heyo.
let's get off the phone. Come on.
Yeah, get off the phone. Sit on the chair. Let's do this.
Write a letter.
Right.
Or a
Well,
litter.
I mean, think about it. The
We're
last
on
time
write a
we-
letter
The last.
Come on, let's move on.
and the sea story. Let's get right there.
Yeah.
He gives birth.
All right. Those are my part. That's my part. First loss, and bad guys assume win. We lost the kitty cat, and they're getting their ass kicked by the lieutenant
And his breastplate.
and his breastplate minigun,
Okay.
Boston Power style.
Minigun.
Okay, Mike.
Mini gun.
All right, so we'll take
with me.
the leader struggles alone.
Okay.
Faced with the loss of the feline communication network and struggling to come up with the idea she can't find or get support, and with the titty guns laying down cover fire all around her, She's determined to do something to move this forward. She knows she needs it for her own health. She knows she wants it for the crown. She wants to be Clevin out of pride. She resorts to doing what she didn't want to do, but for fear of what it's going to cost her. Injects twice. Double the power. Red juice and a green juice together. Gives herself enough speed and enough power to take on the lieutenant.
When she runs, she goes,
all
meow.
I was doing was the struggle. Yeah, so I that's the struggle. Anyone could take it from there.
When she runs, she goes, meow. Okay.
And you could even say the team grew stronger right there if you really wanted to get into that.
Because they all follow her now. Shay,
Yep.
on to you.
Okay, so she did manage to get just enough words to the other cat that she needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And that other cat, although unwilling at first, went to Clevin and was like, look, I know you guys are competing, but she's gonna die if you don't help her. And you don't want her to die. So he's like, yeah, we are stronger together. So Clevin takes a few of his guys and they go into the castle after her.
Okay.
So this, I guess, would be the team grows stronger, because they're coming in to help. But was that already done?
It was kind of touched on by Mike, but I like your idea.
Okay.
So we're going to stay with that.
She got that message through, and Clevin's like, yeah, I can't let her go down like that. You know, no matter what, competition, whatever, we'll take him together. And he ran in with a few guys after her to see her just as she takes down the lieutenant and his miniguns.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
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 Okay, so where are we at?
We are on a live stream.
No, I mean... Okay.
Stop snorting those gems there.
A new motivation. We have a new motivation left, end C story, and a motivation for all left.
Okay, so a new motivation. I put that in twice on one level?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's because of the way they fall. Okay, so you've got a new motivation and NC story or a motivation for all, which has to come last. So you've got the choice, Jessica, between a new motivation or NC story.
I would like to choose a new motivation.
Yep.
So because the ground up jewels are addictive, and because the economy is faltering due to the farming or the harvesting of these jewels, so things start working out in a weird way for the crown financially, and so this leads to a stronger sense of togetherness as they try to fight the addiction brought on by the anti-government's own gem mines.
Okay. So you can end the addiction by winning.
Right.
Okay. Cool. I like it. It's a good motivator as well, especially because she just double dosed. She's probably twigging right now. Tweaking. Tweaking right now, yeah. Okay, so do you want to end the sea story? Because you started it, Thomas?
Who, me? Yeah, I'll do it. I'm in. Alright. So the way it ends is he doesn't get an heir. He doesn't get a woman pregnant. So he loses all of his wealth and estate. But who does he lose it to? Farquhar, or whatever his name is, the main bad guy.
Which he was going to do in 1651 anyway.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So there you go. And now he's angry. He's like, I'm going to kill your cats. You know, whatever it is.
So, I am left to wrap this up with a motivation for all. So, with the fight going on and with everything taking place inside the castle, they have found their way through and they have found the clockmaker, and the clockmaker says, he has my daughters, but he is holding them in the mine, and that's where he's taking the super weapon right now, in the vault. So we can kill 3 birds with one very big rock here. We can go forward, rescue my daughters, break their jewel monopoly, so the jewels that they've stolen from the Tower of London, the tower, and they can all go ahead and end this war right now and win it for the king. Hurrah!
Viva la France!
If they can just do it. And that will lead us into Act 3. And at that point, I would like to say to the audience, or any of my guests here tonight, if you want to take this story, take out the cats and make a good one. And
I think you need more cats.
And polish it up a little bit and turn it into a story. We will give this story to you. You can go ahead, complete the 3rd act using the system. We expect no royalties or any compensation of any kind, and we make no claims to copyright. It is yours to take if you do so. The only caveat is, if you do complete this story, please go ahead and let us know, because we would like to hear it and read it, and we would have you on as a special guest to do a reading and a synopsis of your story, and as a guest host. So we would appreciate you doing that if you wanted to.
I believe the caveat is that they have to read it in a they have to read it like this.
To read it as Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
But on saying that, at this point in the evening, I would like to say thank you for watching. We do like to have a bit of a comedy break on this show and not take it too seriously. It is a plotting meeting, and if you think a plotting meeting is any saner than this, I can tell you, you are mistaken. Right? Because this is usually what goes on in a single writer's mind. Now there's something to scare you. I would like to thank my guests, starting with Thomas. Thank you for being here tonight. I hope you've had fun.
I did. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And you're welcome to come back at any time.
Listen, as long as you give me peanut butter like I got through the mail last time, that was definitely enticing.
Okay.
No one else got peanut butter. Did I let it out of the bag?
Someone else has got the anthrax.
My bad.
I would like to thank Jessica for coming on and joining us and being a representative of the steampunk community with myself, and I look forward to seeing you at Key City. And you are welcome back at any time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me on. And I think I misspoke earlier. I'm going to Jewelry City, not Key City.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, our paths won't cross then, but I'm sure they will in the future.
Yes. And Donna's already announced next year's dates for Baltimore.
I know. I'm so excited.
Me too. It was such a good con. For a first-time con, it was absolutely fantastic.
Agreed.
So I look forward to seeing you again, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Shay, what can we say about dear Shay that hasn't been said before?
A lot.
I don't know. I was
Butterflies
asking
seem
you.
to like her. Look at all those butterflies. They love her.
Thank you for coming.
She's
I
like
really
a flower. A beautiful flower.
flower. Thank you, Shay, for coming on, and I appreciate you being here.
Me to be a part of it.
Yeah, and your input's been absolutely fantastic. And I don't need to tell you you're welcome back at any time, because you know you are, because we talk at least 3 times a week as we're doing our editing meetings,
if not more.
if not more. So I'd like to thank you all, and to my guests out there, if you do take the story, please let us know. And thank you all again for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day. And with that, we would like to say bye to everyone. Bye. Have a great week. Till next week.
Thank you guys for joining
Hasta
us.
luego. Ciao. Wiedersehen. Au revoir.
Bye.